Hey everyone, welcome back to another Wheel Wednesday video, where I give you the most important specs and features of your favorite cars. In this week's video, I decided to do something a little different. That's why it's coming out a few days late. This week I decided to compare the off-road trucks from the big three, since the new Chevrolet Silverado ZR2 came out, to see how they stack up against each other. This is a comparison video. It might end up being something I do more often if you guys like it. So let me know what you think of this video, and please help me come up with a cool name to call this version of my Wheel Wednesday videos in the comments below. Let's get straight into this video, and I'll give you my thoughts on these trucks at the end of the video. The Chevrolet Silverado ZR2. The Ford F-150 Raptor. The Ram 1500 TRX. The ZR2 features a 376 cubic inch V8 making 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. The Ford Raptor has a twin-turbo 318 cubic inch double overhead cam V6 making 450 horsepower and 510 pound-feet of torque. The Ram TRX features a supercharged 376 cubic inch Hemi V8 making 72 horsepower and 650 pound-feet of torque. The ZR2 features Multimatic shocks and spool valve dampers. The Raptor features internal bypass dampers and 5-link rear coil springs. The TRX features Bilstein shocks with upgraded control arms and live axles. The ZR2 has a 4-wheel drive system with a 2-speed transfer case. The Raptor has a 4-wheel drive system with an electronic transfer case. The TRX has a 4-wheel drive system with an electronic transfer case. The Silverado features an electronic locking front and rear differential. The Raptor features an electronic locking front and rear differential. The TRX features an electronic locking front and rear differential. The ZR2 has 18-inch wheels with 33-inch all-terrain tires. The Raptor features 17-inch wheels and 37-inch all-terrain tires. The TRX features 18-inch wheels and 35-inch all-terrain tires. The ZR2 has 11.2 inches of ground clearance. The Raptor has 13.1 inches of ground clearance. The TRX has 11.8 inches of ground clearance. The ZR2 has a 23.3 degree departure angle and a 31.8 degree approach angle. The Raptor features 24.9 degree departure angle and a 33.1 degree approach angle. The TRX has a 23.5 degree departure angle and a 30.2 degree approach angle. The ZR2 does 0 to 60 in 5.6 seconds, the quarter mile in 14.1 seconds, and has a top speed of 100 miles an hour. The Raptor does 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds, the quarter mile in 13.9 seconds, and has a top speed of 120 miles per hour. The TRX does 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds, the quarter mile in 12.3 seconds, and has a top speed of 118 miles per hour. The ZR2 costs $69,295 base price. The Raptor costs $71,320 base price. And the TRX costs $79,675 base price. Now that you've heard all the specs of these trucks, it's time for me to break it down and tell you which truck I think is the best and my comparison of the three. Before I get into this comparison, I would like to give you some context. I decided to do this comparison after seeing the new Chevrolet Silverado ZR2 specs. I found that the Silverado is a little bit of a disappointment, and I'm not sure why Chevrolet didn't go all out on their off-road truck. The reason I am surprised by this is because the Raptor came out years ago and started the off-road truck craze. Now the off-road truck craze is even bigger, as you can tell by Ram's new TRX and the crazy things they did with that. I am just confused, since the off-road truck craze is so big right now, that Chevrolet didn't come out with a crazier truck. They already seen what Ford and Ram come out with, and I'm surprised they didn't use what they learned from those trucks and build the craziest off-road truck they could have built. They missed a big opportunity. Now it's time to get into the specs of these trucks, and I can explain why. The performance of these trucks is quite different. The TRX has the craziest engine with the 702 horsepower from a supercharged Hemi, and the Silverado ZR2 has the least power with its V8 engine making 420 horsepower. The Raptor lands right in the middle at 450 horsepower. So that means the Silverado ZR2 is underpowered compared to the other trucks. As far as suspension goes, all these trucks are pretty much the same. They have sort of the same setup. The Silverado kinda wins in the drivetrain department because it has a real 2-speed transfer case, whereas the Ford Raptor and Ram TRX have an electronic transfer case. The ZR2 lags behind in tire size, however. It has the smallest tires of all the trucks at 33 inches. The next one up is the TRX with 35-inch tires, and it's insane that you can get the Ford Raptor with 37-inch tires from the factory as an option. So in this segment, the Raptor wins, and the ZR2 is falling behind once again. The Raptor wins in ground clearance too, with 13.1 inches of ground clearance. The TRX is next with 11.8 inches of ground clearance. And in last place again is the Chevrolet Silverado with 11.2 inches of ground clearance. How disappointing. As you can tell in the rest of the stats, the Silverado ZR2 falls in last place in all of them. The only thing that the Silverado ZR2 wins in is price, at $69,295 base price, which is a bargain for what you get. So all in all, I would say the Ford Raptor won this battle. It may be down on power with only 450 horsepower compared to the TRX's 702 horsepower, but in every other metric it wins out of the three trucks. In second place is the Ram TRX, just because of its sheer performance at 702 horsepower and its crazy quarter-mile times at 12.3 seconds. That is insane for a truck that big. The ZR2 is in last place because all of its numbers are kind of lower. I think I understand why Chevrolet did this. They know that most people driving the truck aren't going to go crazy with it, because most Raptors you see are driving around town anyway and not doing anything crazy. So I think Chevrolet was like, why do we spend all this money on a truck to make it real crazy when people aren't even going to drive it that way? Anyway, that's my comparison of these three trucks. The Raptor wins, the TRX is in second place, and the ZR2 is in last place. That's all I have for you in this video. Please let me know in the comments what you think of my comparison and any names for this new version of my Wheel Wednesday videos. I'll still be doing my regular Wheel Wednesday videos, but I'd like to incorporate this sometimes. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Also, visit ProjectMarinSting.com to buy merch. I thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.